Hello, everybody. We are with previous Senator A.J. Griffin, who is a State Question 836 supporter. And I know, everybody, what does that mean? And so AJ is here. And so, AJ, what does it mean to be a State Question 836 supporter?
So State Question 836 changes the primary system in Oklahoma after a vote of the people. Right now in the state of Oklahoma, we have what's called a closed primary system. That means in the primary, where almost all of Oklahoma elections are decided, only if those voters that are registered in that party can vote in that election. What State Question 836 does is open the primary system and allows all voters to fully participate in the election process in the state of Oklahoma.
Amazing. So right now, if I am registered, let's just say Republican, if I'm registered Republican in the primary election, my vote will matter as a Republican vote, and that's where it will go to. But in this issue, in State Question 836, it allows the voters to vote for the individual, correct?
Right, and all elected officials and all candidates will be held accountable to all voters. So changing the primary system would do several things. First of all, it's important for everyone to understand we have the lowest voter participation in the country. Oklahomans don't vote very often. And the reason why is because many times elections are already decided when they go to the polls to cast their ballot. And that is a function of how we do elections. It isn't that Oklahomans aren't engaged and don't care, it's that it's how we do elections. So changing the way we access the ballot so that everyone who pays their taxes and wants to participate as a voter can see all of the candidates on the same ballot during the primary election will encourage voter participation. It also holds our elected officials and our candidates accountable to all the voters, and not just a very small percentage from their party that go to the polls during the primary process.
Yes. And I saw a fantastic statistic that was if you are an independent voter, then your vote does not matter as much in the primary, which those independent voters are also taxpayers. And so that's pretty interesting. As a taxpayer, you want your vote to matter no matter what you want to vote for. And so I thought that was a very interesting fact. And as a young voter in Oklahoma, 1 in 4 voters are under the age of 30. Only 1 in 4. And so I thought that was such an interesting fact on that. So can you speak to me as a young voter, this seems kind of obvious that we should be able to vote like this, right? So can you speak a little bit about how we get this ball rolling in our communities all around?
Well, you mentioned something about independent voters. Independent voters right now are they're disenfranchised at the ballot box, and it is the fastest growing voter block not only in Oklahoma but across the country, especially with young people like yourself. Opening up the primary will allow all voters access to that ballot. You know, in the state of Oklahoma, we're a right-to-work state. You are not required to join a union to have a job. You shouldn't be required to join a political party to have access to the ballot that you fund as a taxpayer. And so we're getting the ball rolling across the state of Oklahoma. State Question 836 is going to be very important, and we're starting right here in Shawnee. This is our first Common Sense Club meeting because it only makes sense for Oklahomans to have access to the ballot that they fund.
Yes. And in our community, we are focused on continuing to educate the community on how to vote and our rights to vote. And as a community, we always want to be able to exercise that right to vote. And so thank you so much, Senator A.J. Griffin. Would you like to add any other ways to get involved right here tonight at First United Bank at 6 p.m.? We can come and hear from A.J. Griffin herself and her amazing team. We also want to speak on the behalf of Oklahoma United and the Common Sense Club, correct? Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
We want everyone to come out this evening here in Shawnee. Come join us at 6 o'clock where we get things kicked off. You'll hear from other former elected officials and other interested parties on why this is so important to us, why we want voices in Oklahoma to matter. We're going to start that off tonight in Shawnee, and we hope everybody comes down and joins us. And if not, check us out on the web. We would love to have you learn more, because The ballot belongs to all of us, and we should all have equal rights to participate in our election process.
Yes, thank you so much, Senator A.J. Griffin. And I just want to say to our community that we also have the executive director of Oklahoma United here with us as well. So the entire organization is here to support what is going on. So come out tonight and join us.